everyone. Welcome to CAMICO Conversations, where we discuss practical guidance, whether it's about claims or regarding risk management for today's CPAs. I'm Amber Bailey, Communications Manager at CAMICO, and with us today we have our Vice President of Information Technology, John Zissu. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Amber. It's great to be here.
Yeah, yeah, and I know you're going to share a little bit today. You're going to share on your background, currently what's going on in your department, as well as how Cameco is utilizing AI and certain considerations for CPA firms to safely use AI tools. So the first question I have for you is, what have you enjoyed most about your role so far at Cameco?
So, Amber, what I find the most rewarding is the chance to align a sophisticated technical architecture with a mission that's profoundly human. Beyond just modernizing our infrastructure here at Cameco, one of my significant commitments is to mentoring our talent. We're building a culture of intellectual curiosity here, not just by talking about it, but also by collaboratively discussing emerging technology and also encouraging our team to pursue training that aligns with their personal interests and our corporate goals. When you empower people to stay at the cutting edge of technology, you're not just building better systems, you're also empowering the very people who protect our members' peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how is Cameco different from other companies that you've worked for in the past?
Well, first, it truly is different, Amber. The culture here is distinguished by a very rare combination of precision and empathy. And in many tech-driven firms, I see the focus being solely on the how. But here at Cameco, we're driven by the who. And the level of collaboration across the departments is just remarkable. But the one thing I see as really the defining characteristic is the passion for our members. It really is truly second to none. We see ourselves as the specialized stewards of the CPA profession. And that sense of duty informs every technical decision that we make.
So what is a goal that you're currently prioritizing in the IT department?
So, Amber, this is a transformative year for us. We're executing strategic initiatives across four critical pillars: security, applications, data, and AI. My priority is the seamless integration of these advancements into a single high performance ecosystem at Cameco. This modernization is vital because it hardens our security posture. And in an era of evolving threats, our platform needs to be as agile and resilient as the professionals that we serve.
Yeah, which leads me to my next question. How is Cameco leveraging AI and guiding employees, on responsible use?
That's a great question, Amber, because we're actually deploying AI right now. We have a significant project that's helping to elevate our operational precision, specifically in underwriting speed and accuracy. We are on the threshold of launching a major automation initiative that handles complex use cases, allowing for deeper data synthesis in real time. But besides that, it's also about the everyday wins, improving how we search for information, communicating more precisely, and also optimizing how we reach our members. And the backdrop of all this is we need to do this in a safe and responsible way. So to keep our usage safe as an organization, we've established a framework of guardrails and principles that are centered on data sovereignty. I've also been leading safety briefings with our team members, our employees at Cameco, to ensure innovation doesn't come at the expense of member confidentiality. We want our team to have the best tools, but they also need the roadmap to use those tools ethically.
Yes, yes, that's incredibly important, John. Very important. So I'm curious, what's your professional experience with AI in the past?
Yeah, so Amber, throughout my career, I've actually spearheaded a number of enterprise level implementations, primarily with insurance organizations. As a daily practitioner of generative AI, I've seen firsthand how it can revolutionize executive velocity. So I personally use a tiered approach. I rely on our private company Copilot when I'm interacting with any non-public information to ensure total security because that's guaranteed by Microsoft. They're not going to use data that I put into those private company Copilot chats to train what other people do or apply that in training of their public models. Um, However, for public facing research, like I'm vetting a new vendor or maybe trying to understand how a piece of software applies to a use case, I'll leverage tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. And while the underlying science has been around for decades, there's a massive leap right now in agentic capabilities, and it's just truly unprecedented. And with that, my focus has shifted from just implementation to really architecting the safety boundaries that ensure AI remains a powerful and controlled asset.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, as far as important considerations, using AI, I'm curious for the CPA profession specifically, what are some important considerations?
So, in the CPA world, and looking at this from the perspective of a CPA, the confidentiality and the verifiability are absolute. In our framework, we treat AI as augmented intelligence. So basically, like a sophisticated tool for discovery and drafting, but never a substitute for professional judgment. We at CAMICO use and recommend a human in the loop model for a very simple reason. AI can be incredibly persuasive while being factually wrong. It can invent figures or cite non existent regulations. For a CPA, that's a massive liability. So our goal is to automate the mundane so experts can focus their full attention on high level advisory and member support, but do it safely. And we recommend that same approach to our CPA members.
Yeah, those are some important, great points. So I'm curious, for firms or companies that are currently prohibiting AI, do you see that as a missed opportunity?
So Amber, I actually have a very strong opinion on this. As a kind of a prolific AI user myself, I believe that prohibition is often a missed leadership opportunity. The bottom line is if you don't provide a secure sanction framework, what you do is you're risking the rise of what's called shadow IT. And that's where employees might turn to unsecured public tools just to get their work done because they see their peers interacting in more and more efficient ways and learning new use cases that AI can be applied to. But shutting that down is not the answer. So by proactively establishing guardrails like we're doing here at Cameco, we're building competitive muscle. And that's critical because AI is not going anywhere.
Hmm.
Um, and now also, Amber, for CPA firms specifically, like the value is huge. So first, it's risk mitigation, right? You can use it as a pre-clearance tool to find anomalies in massive data sets, maybe things a human wouldn't catch. Second is its capacity, right? The industry is increasingly talent constrained, and AI is handling the heavy lifting of things like data ingestion, which move the CPA up the value chain, focusing increasingly on strategy. And finally, it's about real time intelligence. So it allows firms to provide faster, more data driven insights that increase their value to their customers. So organizations that master that balance between data protection and AI driven efficiency will be the ones who are positioned to lead. And we want our policyholders to know that you don't have to fear the technology. You just have to govern it with the same precision that you apply to your practice.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And, thanks for outlining that, John. And, hopefully these points are, valuable to viewers and, our policyholders. So yeah, I appreciate you being on here today and, yeah, just sharing, your perspective and, those key points as far as, utilizing the great benefits with AI, but also, being, um, cautious and thorough as far as responsible and safe usage.
Thank you so much, Amber. Really appreciate your
Yeah.
time. And I appreciate all of our members who are watching this video, and hopefully we'll learn something from the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, John, and thanks everyone for tuning in. And be sure to join us again for, or next time for more tips and conversation for CPAs.